Hi everybody, Sam from Chinese Astrology. We're going to talk power, status and recognition in a Chinese astrological chart. Now, if you like the material as usual, hit like and subscribe, and I've got a book beginner's guide and a fundamentals online Chinese astrological course there off my website, so if you guys are interested in that, check it out. And as usual, I'll have the chart calculator below so you can actually rustle up your Chinese astrological chart. For those who are more serious, I do have an old video on this YouTube channel of how to calculate your own Chinese astrological chart from the Chinese astrological calendar. But you'll need to buy a copy of that book. There's a few different ones. I talk about that in my course. And anyway, that talk is there for those who are really keen, because it's always good to understand the animal branches and the heavenly stems as well, and how they roll and flow on from one to the next. So that's important. Now, when we talk about power, status and recognition, well, that can actually give us that in the Chinese astrological chart. And of course, if we don't have power element in our 4 pillars, that doesn't mean we're not going to get success and recognition. And this is the same thing I was talking about when I was talking about wealth in the Chinese astrological chart in the past. So power element can come up in years and the luck cycles if we don't have it in a 4 pillars chart. Now, there's 4 kind of charts we talk about. I'll just quickly talk about this in Chinese astrology, which are the 4 follow charts. So you can follow output element, you can follow wealth, which I talked about in the last talk, and then you can follow power and you can follow resources. So people who do follow power element really surrender to that power element, and they make extremely good employees, which means they're naturally disciplined, they're reliable, they're meticulous, they're trustworthy, and they're disciplined. A lot of people who have power element in their chart are extremely disciplined. They can make great kind of personal trainers, martial artists, to discipline the physical body, but then they can have a really thorough, hardcore work ethic that makes them really want to be successful and kind of perform. But the cool thing about power element is you do get some recognition out into the world. Now, this can be fame at certain times, like something may take off for you. For example, I was going through I'm a yin water day master, right? And I remember a few years ago, I can't remember what year it was, maybe in 2018 and 17, which was the yang earth dog year. My day master combined with my power element. And at that time, I actually I had to do a lot of public speaking. I was flown into state to do these talks on acupuncture for a company I actually used to work for. And it just came in out of nowhere, and next minute I was flying off into state. I think I did about 5 or 6 talks that year. And then, so it brought me out into the world. It brought me out into the public eye, just as an example of this. Now, people who have these power element combinations in their charts is really highly auspicious. Within the 4 pillars chart, say that just as like that example I mentioned, the yin water day master combining, say, with the yang earth in the month pillar, is I have that power element combination in the chart. And I think actually I can think of an example of someone who had that was the guitarist Slash out of Guns N' Roses. He had this, I'm pretty sure it was him, or it could have been someone else, but there's been many examples of this. I mean, I haven't got the chart examples there, but I think for those who are interested in wanting to know what their power element is, and I think one of the real advantages of understanding power element, and one of the values of understanding this in terms of being an employer for a business, is understanding someone's chart. If you understand the chart dynamics, you can actually look at the people's charts of everyone you're about to employ, and then you can see whether they're going to will be suited to a role you're going to give them at work. So if you're looking for someone who's a bit of a leader within your own company, then you will look for someone who has prominent power element in there, because firstly, they'll respect you as a boss, and secondly, they will gain popularity within the company and the respect within the company, and they'll have the abilities to fulfill the roles. Because those that do follow power, they do respect authority, and they work well with others as a team. So this just is another thing to consider. And another thing to consider about the power element is that in a woman's chart, power element is represents a man, or the masculine. Now, women who follow power usually love the company of men, and they respect men, and they have either a lot of male colleagues or a lot of male friends, and they just generally like the company of men. But also, when women are single and the power element comes in, and this is separate from romance flowers and things like this. So, for instance, if you're a female with a yin water day master, I'll just use that same example, and then you were single, and the year of the yang earth, whatever it is, comes in, which represents earth to water type, is power. So this represents a man coming into your life. So while I'm on that, for those who want to look at their chart calculator and find out about this, you can look to, I'll just run through the elements that represent power. So water element, if your water's day master is water, let me explain that again. If your day master is water, your power element is earth. So if you have a lot of earth in your chart, that's going to represent power. If you're a wood element day master and you've got a lot of metal, then you'll find that you have the power element, which is represented by metal. If you're fire element, the power element is going to be water. If you're earth element, the power element's going to be wood. And if you're metal element, the power element's going to be fire. So it's a bit of an art to find out whether you follow power or not, because it takes a little bit of study to work out combinations of things. But I just wanted to give you guys an example of this, and an example of how the Chinese astrology looks at certain qualities in people. Now, and there's also a 10 God component of this as well, which is a little bit deeper. So they talk about power being the direct officer and the 7 killings, which goes a little bit deeper into these kind of things, and it gives us a little bit of an indication of certain types of successes that can come in. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. So please, get interactive with it, because this is a subject I love. And I'm thinking, for those interested, if you want to throw into the comments, I'm probably going to start doing a few lives down the track, so I can run through people's Chinese astrological charts if they're interested on that platform. So just let me know. And again, thank you for listening.